Hey, welcome to part 2 of my gaming things that I saw on our end of year 2023 trip around South Korea and Japan. This is the Nintendo Store Kyoto block, because it's going to take some time to cover all of this stuff. First, let's talk about finding Nintendo Store Kyoto. You'd think that a giant illuminated Mario head and a big display cube would be hard to miss. But when you're walking down this normal width sidewalk outside of this Takashimaya building, and it's jam-packed with tourists and out-of-towners on holiday, and it's surrounded by this landscaping, these planters and stuff are there on either side, it's real easy to walk right past, coming from the left-hand side. We walked about a half a block past it, turned around, and then when you come back, it's much easier to see in this mall entrance, to see that big Mario head, and then turn in, and then start your journey up to Nintendo Store Kyoto. Thinking about it now, this might have been because of high traffic season or something. This elevator right here to the left, behind the big Mario head, will take you all the way to the 7th floor where the Nintendo store is, but for whatever reason we had to come in, take this elevator from the 1st floor up to the 5th or 6th floor, wind our way through the floor, to another elevator, take that elevator up to the 7th floor, and then wind past this yellow featured area, which at the time I think was Very Hungry Caterpillar for some reason. And then at the back of that is the Nintendo Store queue to get in line to get into the store. It was very confusing and very frantic, and it took, I feel 10 minutes of trying to figure out how we move through this mall just to get to the front of the store. But here we are, finally, in line to get into Nintendo Store Kyoto. None of my pictures or videos really express how jam-packed it felt in there. There are definitely points where it was shoulder to shoulder with people just trying to move around these displays, and it was so warm. We ended up pulling off coats and jackets and hats and everything. We kind of shot around the store in a counterclockwise motion, but there are definitely big crowds and stuff, so I'll try and go through this in order. Right to the left as you come in, there's each of these featured cubby sections for different franchises. There's a Splatoon, well, there are first a couple Mario ones, then a Splatoon one, then some Animal Crossing stuff, and then a couple sections, I think, of Pikmin, and then it kind of led around the corner into an even bigger featured Pikmin and Splatoon area, but I didn't dive into those too much. I did grab a couple pics of some really cute Pikmin plushies, though, and especially this Bulborb coin purse. That's just a perfect design. Love that. There was no shortage of Animal Crossing goods. All of it just looked so great. I would love to have bought a lot more. I did buy a Todakeke pen. I would love to deck out our whole house with an Animal Crossing style. These were the brand new, these little gummy cards that I had shown briefly in my other video. Turns out those were brand new. They just came out Christmas week. And most of the stuff that they had was in that pastel style, so it was cool to see this darker toned Animal Crossing pattern goods too. By this point, I believe we're in the back right corner of the store in the Kirby section. Look at all of these Kirby plushes. There's so many good Kirby things. I bought a few little blind box keychains here and at other places we stopped at. One of my favorites, though, I wish I had a use for, was this lanyard, and when you pull the zippy part out, it looks like it's shooting Kirby out of a cannon. It's just so perfect, but I think it was close to $20 or some dollars, and I legitimately would never use it again. So I passed on that, unfortunately. I regret now. And we're sort of at the back middle of the store at this point, so just to prove to everybody that I didn't steal somebody else's pictures of the store, here we are at the Nintendo Kyoto sign for a selfie, a very rare Sean selfie. Heading back into the left-hand corner of the store now, they had a little Zelda section. There were kind of Zelda things split up. So this was just a little section. The Kuko bag is definitely the standout item. And then some chubby-faced Link plushies. Here we are in the back left side of the store, which is basically all Mario / general Nintendo stuff. This pen is so good, but it's just kind of a stick pen. It doesn't click. It doesn't have multiple colors or anything. It just looks real neat as the flagpole. I probably should have bought one, but I didn't. One of the things I really wanted to buy was that warp pipe, but it was so heavy, and the box for it was so big, and it cost, more like $25 some, and once I was there with it, it just didn't seem worth it. I can probably buy somebody's 3D printed one on Etsy and get the same experience of having a pencil cup that looks like a warp pipe. These were all of the t-shirts with the different Mario game covers on them. I don't need the shirts. I would just have taken each of those boxes. That would have been awesome. These things were really great. They are Famicom-shaped cartridges for the Mario games, but they open up and have a little sticky notepad inside of a different pixel pattern from each game on the front and the back. Those were awesome. I bought 2 of those. I've got a video that I did while we were in Japan showing that off. So click the link wherever it pops up here. These Mario bags looked really cool and stylish. Looks like it would go perfectly with the Mario Lika doll that we saw at Yodobashi Camera. Just the beginning section of little plushy keychains, little, bags, little bags and coin purses. I don't know why I took so many pictures of plushies. We were I do know why. At this point, we were in the pre-line to get in line to check out. They had to separate it so people could get through because the line was so long. So it's just kind of standing here looking at the same things over and over. So I took a lot of pictures of these plushy keychains hanging around. I had seen a lot of these goods on Nintendo's site ahead of time, or a lot of it just wasn't that big of a surprise. But this was one thing that I didn't know was going to be there. And it wasn't even labeled with the price, so I didn't know how much it was. It was gigantic. It contains cookies that I can't eat because of the dairy. So all that combined, I didn't buy it, but it's so amazing. I think it's a New Year's cookie tin kind of idea. It's like a paper mache, not paper mache, but it's like a cardboard warp pipe that's also the container for all these little packets of cookies, and each packet is a cover from a different Mario game. It's just so brilliant. I love the design of it, and then it features all of the Mario game covers. But it was so big and heavy and expensive, probably. I couldn't even carry one up to the checkout with me. The little tins on top, though, it's the same idea. It's a little tin of gummies or candies of some kind that have different covers of the Mario games on them. And I did buy 2 of those, but they were blind box, of course. So I got 2, one horizontal and one vertical. Oh yeah, and the other thing that I really wanted to get when I got here was the Boo mirror. You kind of can't tell from that picture of the box, but it's a mirror that has Boo hiding, which is also so brilliant because the Boos would be hiding when you're looking at them, and you're looking at them because it's a mirror, you're seeing your reflection. It's just such a great idea, and I still haven't decided where to hang it up, but I finally got a Boo mirror. We are properly in the checkout line now, so of course, what is there to do but kind of film around? They had this big wall display case of some of the products. That Animal Crossing pillow is so good. I don't even remember seeing it out in the Animal Crossing section. This Animal Crossing kettle and pot are also so great. There was the warp pipe that I wanted to get, and a question block cookie jar. Yep, you can zoom. Those are probably more cookies that I can't eat. The Animal Crossing coffee grinder and the drip coffee cup. It's so good. Animal Crossing thermos. Yeah, it's Animal Crossing up there. Oh, well, we're a little farther in the line now. There's the entrance section that I didn't get pictures of the very beginning. Even in the checkout line, they've got more stuff that you couldn't find elsewhere in the store. Devious. They know what they're doing. And the line just zigzags back and forth. It didn't actually take as long to get through the line as I feared that it would. This was after we had already spent the morning at Arashiyama Bamboo Forest, so we had trekked up into the woods and back down, tried to find food, ended up back on a train that brought us back down and around to downtown Kyoto. So we had had a day by this point. I was kind of trying not to spend a ton of time in the Nintendo store, just get in and out, but that's impossible. The Nintendo Kyoto t-shirt, I don't think they were even priced, and I couldn't tell, what the size would be like. So I didn't get one of those. And they also had like this gray thing on the side here was another barrier that you come down, and they had even more stuff there, little different cookie packs and more stuff I couldn't eat, but was still tempting. And so here we are waiting to check out, and they had these huge lines, or a huge number of cashiers to check out at. That was the cool thing about the checkout process. They held up a laminated card with My Nintendo on it, and it was all in Japanese. And I was like, oh, I only have My Nintendo America, and they were like, oh, that's fine. So I scanned the QR code, signed into My Nintendo, and I got like 138 gold tier coins on My Nintendo, and it now like shows, like you made a purchase at Nintendo Kyoto. So that's kind of cool. I had better have gotten something for coming all the way here and spending $150 on stuff. So we checked out. It turned out there was an escalator, I think, up to the rooftop terrace that looks something like this. Here's a couple pictures from Nintendo of it. We did not make it up there. I don't know how you were supposed to get up there after you already bought things. It seemed like you couldn't get there to get up to the roof without going through the checkout line, it seemed. So I don't know. I just got lost in the shuffle in the Nintendo store. Didn't make it to the roof. Anyways, that was my Nintendo store experience. It was, like everywhere we went, overwhelming. I knew it was going to be a store full of Nintendo stuff, but being presented with it, like you getting your hands on all of it, I was just like, oh, I want this. I want this. I want this. I want this. I want all of it. I'm burning up. I'm surrounded by a million people that are obviously buying cases of these things to take home and sell online. I'm just here being a big nerd. I just want to buy some Nintendo things that I think are cool. It was a whole experience. It was really cool. It was a lot. Anyways, this has turned out to be a longer video than I thought, just for the Nintendo store. So I'm going to have another video for all the stuff that I saw in Tokyo and all the different areas of Akihabara that we made it to. So look for that one popping up here. And we'll continue the journey of all the video game stuff I saw on our trip around Korea and Japan.